My name is Dr. Abera Uncha. I'm working in University as the director of postgraduate school. I've been working as a director for the last 6 years. This community-led initiative is very important for our community because our community mostly depend on the natural resources. So in order to use our natural resource wisely, we have to introduce this community-led initiative, and from that the community can benefit, I think. When we are introducing something modified and something improved and let the community to do by themselves, then they can benefit. Engaging the community is very important. That is sustainable. If the community is involved, that may sustain based on the needs of the community. If you allow them to speak, then based on that problem, it's very important to introduce the projects, the initiatives, the improved and some scientific knowledge, improved knowledge is very important if the community is involved. Without the involvement of the community, just it will stay for some time, and then it will be left out. We have seen it. But if there is involvement of the community, if the community also involved in the play, then it will be very sustainable. That's very important. Vita is working with the community on improved stoves. Our community depends on fuel wood. Majority of the community, particularly rural community, is totally depend on fuel wood. Vita is introducing something improved stove which saves fuel wood. That means if the stove saves the fuel wood, then it saves the plant, the vegetation, because people are directly depend on cutting trees. If one tree is cutted and served for a long time as a firewood, then it will save another tree. So I really appreciate Vita's activities and these improved stoves. I appreciate that if these improved stoves are widely used by the community, if Vita provide a number of stoves to the community, then the community will benefit. We have visited a number of stoves in the village that Vita provided. People are using these improved stoves, and these improved stoves contribute for the vegetation of the forest of the park. Arominji is very known for its forest cover. Food and forest is a very important term. People are, cooking food using forest products. That is a link. And forest is also food. Some forests, people get their food directly from forest. And people are using the forest products as a fuel wood to cook their food. And food is also produced from the water resources which are generated by the forest. If there is no forest, that impacts on the soil, on the water resource, and on the food production. So in order to save the forest, people have to cook first. They have to eat. And that is cooked by the forest products. So introducing improved stove means saving the forest. Saving the forest means saving the whole climate. contributing for the climate change. That is a relationship. Vita is working with Arbaminj University. We have a lot of involvement with Vita. In this improved storm cases, university students, master's students were sponsored by Vita to work on the effectiveness of this stove. They already completed their thesis and they defended their thesis. So their engagement was directly asking the beneficiaries of the stove, and they collected data from a number of beneficiaries and analyzed that data, and finally they come up with some conclusions on the effectiveness of this stove. Effectiveness in a sense means to the forest. Sustainability of these stoves. Are people using these stoves sustainably? So that was the focus, and we are working with Vita on that issue. My research through the whole career is food security, vulnerability of the people to maybe food security, to climate change, to. So that's what I'm working. I have been working on this issue. Planting a tree have benefit. Just people around us, around Arbaminj, understood that planting a tree may have some contribution for whatever it is. So we have been teaching, creating awareness about planting a tree. So if you see Arbaminj, the whole Arbaminj and it is surrounding, it is forest. That came from the awareness of the academia as well as all the stakeholders, including Vita. So that is what we are working. People aware that planting a tree has some contribution, either for local climate or maybe global. So that is what we have done, gender empowerment. So because gender, women have the biggest share in the food-forest linkage. That is why gender empowerment is needed. The housework is totally left for women, and therefore empowering women is very important. Supporting the community is very important. Listening the community is very important. We have to start from the community and take the ideas of the community, the problem of the community, involve the community, and work with the community. If we do that, then definitely we will change. And that is what we are trying. And that is what we are trying to make a collaboration with University of Limerick and others even. So the important thing is, first we have to listen to the community, the ideas of the community. Take the idea, discuss with the community, and provide awareness and work with the community. Engage the community directly and take their idea, develop their idea, and work with them. That is the point. If you do that, you will succeed.